Fish. Fish.
There we go, fish.
Fish. Oh, he's off.
Like I said, he's not fishing if you don't end up in the tree.
Snack.
Snacks. It's a bit sketchy here.
Oh, got him.
Can't beat the hit of a decent pike. Bang on the jerk bait.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 and the final episode of Lure Battle Season 1. In the last 9 episodes we saw 12 anglers reduced to just 3 who will be fighting it out in a head-to-head battle at Linear Fisheries to see who will be crowned champion of Lure Battle. All anglers fished extremely well, but it was Gunki's Costa, Westin's Thom Hunt and Savage Gear's Robbie Northman who made it into the final, and it'll be one of these 3 anglers who will be crowned the winner of Lure Battle. The finals has taken place at Linear Carp Fisheries, so we'll head over there now to meet up with Dave Greenland and all the finalists to see what the plan is for the final episode.
Welcome to the first ever final of the Lure Battle. We are here at the fabulous Linear Fisheries complex in Oxford. Linear Fisheries is well known for its carp, with carp over £50 swimming in these lakes. But what a lot of you don't know is we've got £4 perch and 30 plus pike swimming around these lakes. This is an excellent venue for the lure angler and deadbait angler out there. We are here today to film the final. We've got 3 fantastic anglers here today. We've got Robbie Northman from Savage, we've got Thom Hunt from Westin, and we've got Costa from Gunki. 3 very well-known anglers and 3 very well-capable anglers who know how to pick apart a venue. Let's follow them around today. They've got 3 and a bit hours to have a quick recce. None of them have been here before. They're going to have a recce around all the lakes. It's cold. It was minus whatever again last night. Half the lakes are frozen. We would have had 15 lakes to tackle here. We've only got 7 that haven't got a lid on it, so it's going to be difficult, but we've got 3 excellent anglers here who know how to pick apart a venue. None of them have fished this before. This is a level playing field. It's going to be really interesting to see how they tackle this massive lake complex. Let's follow them, let's see how they got them on. They've got a 3-hour plus recce time. The fishing doesn't start until 12 o'clock midday today. We've got 2 days to see what they can catch. Good luck everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Lure Battle final. We're here at Linear Fisheries. Real treat to fish somewhere like this. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't really fish lakes, so at bare minimum this is going to be a real learning curve to me. We have got a little bit of a stumbling block, which is we've got no liquid in the lake. It's all ice, so this could be a challenge that yeah, I think finding water is one thing, never mind finding the fish. So this lake, as you can see, is definitely out. I think this is Manor or St John's, so I can't quite remember the name of this one. The other one as well that's next to it, I think that's a similar story. Got a little bit of free water over there. The issue that we're going to have today is the lake will thaw out as the day progresses. It's only about 9 o'clock now. The problem that we're going to have is if all the fish retreat under the ice, because the water under there should be more of a stable temperature, that could be a real problem. But we're going to have a bit of a recce now. We've got a few hours. We're going to go and have a look at Brasenose 1 and 2 now, and then have a look at Oxley's after that. So with a bit of luck, we'll find some water, and then we'll go from there.
It is looking like we have quite a lot of free water that's not frozen. Well, a corner that's not frozen on Hardwick, which is awesome because that's one of the lakes that's renowned for its big pike. I think it's done them to £31, as well as some solid perch as well, so that gives us something to work at. I'm thinking if Hardwick's isn't frozen, they're a bit more exposed to Brasenose 1 and 2, so I think there will be fishable water on there. If we all end up down here though, it is going to be a fight for space because there's barely enough room for 1 person to fish, let alone 3. So there's a little bit, oh there's a hole there. All right, It looks thin enough for Ash to punch through as well. Ash is a punchy man, he can deal with duckweed, he can deal with ice, so yeah, we're not too worried about him. There's a little stubby corner up here as well on Smiths, which, or Hardwicks. That's still Hardwicks there, isn't it? Oh yes, Smiths is frozen. Oh, thank you 2000s Honda. I know I'm not on the road, but it's telling me to buckle up. It cares about my safety. Got to appreciate that. We've got a ripple of wind on this lake, so that's promising, and we've got a defrosted reed bank as well. So we're going to just note these areas, and then we're going to stop. And I've downloaded the bathymetric charts for them. So hopefully, using the historic wind data and the bathymetrics, we should be able to pinpoint roughly where these fish will be holding up. It's not bad. It's quite, there's quite a lot of fishable water.
Hi guys, Thom Hunt here. Welcome to the Lure Battle final. So, as you probably know from the intro, we've got a few hours for a recce. Now the first challenge was to find a bit of water that's not frozen. So a few of the lakes back on the main bit were frozen. I've just come down to, I think this one's called Oxley's. Look at that. We've got some water to actually fish. So I've got myself a little bit of tech with me. We've got a few hours to just obviously have a walk around. I've got my polarized sunglasses to see if I can see anything. The water is nice and clear. I'm gonna have a little cast with this deeper to try and just find something, some depths, some gravel bars, maybe some baitfish shoals, that type of stuff. So I'll hop a few pegs along each time, couple of casts, see it on my phone, try and see if there's a deeper end or a shallower end, if there's baitfish anywhere, that type of stuff. But I'm pretty chuffed because we've actually got some water to fish. So, right, here we go. Let's see what we can find. Well, it casts well. Well, we're on our recce, just coming to the end of our recce. It is tricky, it is so cold. I've had a little motorbike that I thought I was going to bring round, and that packed in. I think it was too cold. Got it running and then it conked out. All of the tech that we're trying to use, it's so cold, that's kind of cutting out a lot, and obviously most of the lakes are frozen, but feel like we're starting to get a plan. For me, the plan is going to be start with pike fishing. I feel in these really cold conditions that perch can be really tricky, so it's going to be a two rod job. I'm going to select my rods that I can do the longest casting distances with, because I do think you need to get out as far as possible, try and find that deep water, and just cover as much water as possible. But it's going to be a mostly pike attack for me. I will take a perch rod or fish some slightly smaller lures, 10 or 12 centimeters, in the hope of a bigger perch. But in these cold conditions, I think the perch is going to be really tricky. So pike attack it's going to be.
They've had 3 hours. They've done a really good recce. They've been all over the lake complex. There is tons of ice still, unfortunately, but there's plenty of water to go for. It's going to be really interesting how you three pick this apart. So good luck. It is now 12 o'clock. We've got 6 hours of fishing. That's about an hour and a half into dark. So back here for 6 o'clock. Good luck, the three of you, and we look forward to this one.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
Before we get fishing, snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah, fancy a meat pie in the pub later.
Yeah, 100%. Fancy
And a pint.
fancy a little hip flask today. It's chilly.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a very difficult day for all of the anglers with the extremely cold weather they've got. Most of the waters are frozen, but with 3 hours of recce time, they should have found some open water. So we'll go catch up with Costa first and see what his plan is to attack these lakes today.
We're sort of changed plans several times since looking around the lakes. You've got Oxley's, there's a lot of free water on there, but you've got Brasenose 1 that's got a lot of free water. The idea was just to pick that apart for the daylight hours we've got to fish today, and then go from there. But there is this nice little corner, I think this is Manor, that's free. So I thought it's very close to the starting point. We can pick this apart fairly quickly, and there's another little lake just behind it, a little float lake that's got an inlet, and there's a load of free water there as well. So I think that's the plan. We're going to start by chucking out 13 centimetre bumpy. Then we're going to scale down to the 7.5 centimetre, and then we're going to Ned. But we can do all of that, probably take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes if we're going to do it properly. But all right, it's first cast in linear.
Gotta make it through biosecurity protocols by dipping. Okay, sort of attempting to dip the net. So I'm going to focus on the pike this morning. Would love to catch perch, but I feel like in these conditions they're going to be the hardest of the fish to tick off, whereas pike are usually a little bit more willing to play ball. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more we can do than try our best. I say Tom's on the same lake as me, and if Tom's picked this one, then I feel confident in my choice. He's actually going for the opposite bank to what I'm fishing, and that's kind of interesting. It means although we're on the same water, we're both going different tactics, different banks, and yeah, hopefully one of us catches a fish. I mean, hopefully Tom's comes off or is really small, but yeah, a little sign of life would be a good start to the day. It's right around lunchtime, it's at its warmest, the bait fish are going to be most active, and fingers crossed the pike will be too.
Just about to start. I think we're going to concentrate 80% on pike today, but I've got two rods. One throws up to about 80 grams, so it's soft enough in the tip that I can fish down to 10 or 12 centimetre baits. And if I do hook a perch, it's not going to be overpowering. Hopefully I can get it in, I won't rattle it off. But I've got a 40 gram rod as well, 10 to 40 gram or 15 to 40 gram. You need something a little bit heavier here. If we do hook into some pike, I want to be able to get it in on that kit as well, but it's also distance. I've gone for minimum 8 foot rods here. Normally most of my perch fishing is 7'6" rods, but I've gone for a little bit longer to get some extra distance to cover water. But if the cameraman can keep up, we will be covering a lot of water, starting on a bull tease in headlight, nice clear water. If we can get a pull from a jack or a pike to start with, that would be awesome. Here we go, first cast.
Robbie is right, going for the pike will be the best option today. But they do have 2 days of fishing, so we should see some fish on the bank. If anyone can catch a fish on these days, it's going to be these three anglers here. So let's keep watching and see which angler gets the first fish on the bank.
We've got about 10 foot up this end, 10, 12 foot, so I can fish the Westin swim down to about 6, 8 foot, and I've gone for a bright colour. I'm going to just keep, in the early stages, just keep changing stuff up to see if I can get a particular reaction, but orange and yellow can be absolutely awesome at this time of year in cold water, so we'll give that a go. Oh, I'm gonna need to get the gloves on as well. I didn't think it was going to be this cold. Fish! On my net. Oh, got him. Frickin' handle came off my net. First fish, real fatty, not a bad size. We're off the mark. I wasn't sure if we were going to catch today, but here we go. Look at that, just nicked right in the scissors. 69. Oh, right, we're off the mark. Not the biggest one in the world, but I tell you what, they're well fed here. 69 centimetres. I'm just super happy that we've managed to catch. I always tell people about reading information. There's a few things on this fish. First of all, covered in argillus and leeches, which means I know that they're sitting dormant on the bottom for quite a bit of the time. So I've fished this first peg with a soft plastic and then no bites, and I went back over the top with a Westin swim and he's hit it first cast. So could be all about slow and on the pause today. So right, let's get this one back. I'm so stoked we've actually caught. Bit of a calamity with the net. I managed to pull the handle out of the net, but we got him in the end. So right, let's pop her back. Oh, right, the water's a bit cold, but there you go, my beauty. Tiny head, fat as a pig. We're off the mark. I am feeling great, guys. Just, you know, we obviously had a recce for a little while, came down, and you've got to try and make good decisions straight from the get-go. A lot of them are out of bounds because they're obviously not, you know, we can't even cast into them. But I said to the cameraman, this is what's interesting, on the recce, the swim next door, we started on that side and did a recce all the way around, and it wasn't until the swim next door that I said, I can catch a pike out of here. Lo and behold, it's actually this one. So wasn't deep either, was probably, I reckon it was in 6 or 8 foot of water, which is quite encouraging. Covered in leeches, and fished on a really slow retrieve, and it was just nicked in the mouth. So I think they are going to be cold. I think they are going to be lethargic. It wasn't a brilliant bite, but we're off the mark. So if we can nick another one, this would be awesome. Got Robbie over there, so hopefully he's going to get into some as well. But the old orange and yellow at this time of year when it's super cold can really fire them up. Oh, I'm so stoked.
And there's the first fish of the finals going to Mr. Thom Hunt. Not a long fish, but very fat, so they are definitely feeding up now. Great to see a fish caught very quickly. That's 69 points for Thom Hunt, and he is into the lead. But there's still a lot of time to go. There's still another day's fishing, so I'm sure lots more fish are going to catch. But I bet he's feeling great now he's got that first fish. A little bit of pressure's off for him now. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the day.
Tom's just got a pike over there. So it shows there are fish down the bottom end of this wind. It's just going to be a case of grinding them out. It's not a bad pike. It's a promising sign. Looked like a good solid hit he had as well. Surprisingly quick. Considering how worried we were. Too much gear.
So we're on Brasenose 1 now. The other little lake that we was going to fish, didn't realise we weren't allowed to fish that, so we give that one a miss. We've come on to Brasenose 1. Quite shallow here, so it surprised me a bit. But we're going to probably pick this lake apart, I think, for the first day, and then make a decision going into the second day whether we hit this again or not. Just bumping a shad along the bottom, nice 7.5 centimetre shad. So pike and perch, and hopefully we can drop on one. Oh, was that a hit? That could have been a hit. Just on the drop, there's a thud. I wouldn't have thought that would have been a perch on 13 centimetre shad. I'd say that would probably have been a pike. That's encouraging.
That's long enough in there. It is really chilly. Even with under thermals and waders, I don't think I'd last more than about 5 minutes in that water. So it is demoralisingly tough at the moment. Like, we've pretty much burned through half the lake, spent a good few hours and not had a bite yet. But we're now coming up onto an area that I really quite fancy. There's an island in front of us, a little bit of a peninsula that I can wade onto and fan cast around, and the deepest water on this whole lake is situated halfway between me and the island, so it could be a good one to throw some deeper working lures like some bite baits at. We'll definitely try the chatterbait in that hole. We'll just see if there's anything stuck down there. I feel really confident in working this area for a little while. If it's been under ice for a good few days, which it has, I wouldn't be surprised if the fish are pushed into those areas.
Well, the start was a bit of a false hope. It was just, I don't know, we're probably only 20 minutes in and I had a bite, had a pike. Now we've been fishing for a few hours and not another bite, but it's kind of what I expected, to be honest. So I'm still super happy that I've got one in the bag. If we can just trick, I was hoping we were going to get another pike on this lake before we left, but if we could get one more today, that would be amazing. So we're going to go and check out Brasenose in a minute. That was half iced over, but plenty of fishable water. So yeah, we'll maybe that'll change our luck a bit.
A very tough start so far with just one fish caught in the first few hours. All of the anglers are struggling with not really much sign of life. It was always going to be difficult because these anglers have not fished this lake complex before, but because of the cold snap in the weather, the fish will have switched off, which will make things even harder for them. So it's a real challenge for these anglers. It'll really show who's got that determination and spirit to push through and work out what's needed to catch these pike and perch.
Oh, that was a bite before that locked up. See that tip go? I don't know if I had a nip and then dragged that into the weed. I think we may have just had another little nip there. You had a couple of turns of the rear hand and on the paws, the tip just sort of bounced around a couple of times, and as I've gone to retrieve the slack again, it's just dragged it into a ball of weed. But that's encouraging. So that weed red again, I think. Yeah. Just try to fish over that a little bit faster. I think as well, when you're trying to fish just over the weed, you let it hit the bottom and then just give it a couple of taps up, and then just a steady retrieve with your rod tip slightly higher. In an ideal world, what you want to be doing is just ticking the weed. You want to feel it just bouncing over it. If you're not feeling nothing, go a little bit slower. If you're snagging weed again, then just go a little bit faster. We've got 5 grams on here. Possibly get away with dropping down the size. Maybe go 3.5. But again, we do want to get as far out as we can.
I'm actually bored. I'm fishing and I'm bored. I never get bored fishing, but this is just ridiculous. It's like, I don't think I've even felt anything brush my line. Very, very different kettle of fish to river fishing. I'm just going to crank that in because I can't be bothered to work it to my feet. Somewhere down there might be a fish. Shallower there. Yeah. is very slow. Well, the fishing's sucking today, or I'm sucking today. So I was fishing down there, kind of in the wind. It's melting really rapidly, so there must be some warmth coming in, but yeah, it's grinded quite a few different patterns through, didn't get a bite. So come up here, there's a nice little sheltered bay that's sort of kind of out of bounds, and looks like it's got a fairly deep trough running into it. So I'm going to have a little go here on this little flat spot in the wind. Yeah, can only keep plodding away, and hopefully I can move something.
Right, so here we are, we've come to a new lake. This one's called Brasenose 1, and when we walked around first thing doing a recce this morning, I really fancied this corner. And like we caught at the last lake, the only bite we had was in a little reed lined bay. So hopefully it's deep enough. First chuck in a new spot, and well, let's see if we can get one.
So just changed tactics again. Got onto one of the Gunki drag spins. It's a bit of a sort of a do nothing bait really. It hasn't got any sort of like side to side action or anything like that. All it's got is a spin tail. It's like a big spin tail. But sometimes when it's really cold and you don't want anything too I say flashy, but you don't want anything that's moving too much, this can be a really good option. Really slow sinking as well. And this area, I mean, this looks, probably going to spend a little bit of time here because there's got to be something here. It looks brilliant. And it's basically how long we can fish here before I can't feel my feet, because it is bloody freezing. Why? What's that like? That's 12th, 13th fish we've lost in this competition. Oh. Maybe I've got to get cold feet for longer. Yeah, look, it was new out the pack. That is really, really annoying. Let's, rather than just whack that straight back out there, let's whack the smaller one. Let's see if he'll commit to that. Oh mate, I can't feel my feet. This is horrible. There's a fish. Yes. Don't come off. Don't come off. Please don't come off. Don't come off. Don't come off. Don't come off. This is an important fish, this. Oh, when they roll on the line like that, hearts in the it's only a tiny jack, but that could be so important. Oh, I think he's out. I think he's coming off. He says, if that come off now, all you lot watching this, you go, ah, what a knobhead. Oh, he is only up on one. Yes. Oh. Matt's all straight, his nose is well and truly up against that board, or his bottom lip. That's touching 73. First fish of the final, 73 centimetre pike. Now in the grand scheme of things, this might not seem like a particularly big fish, but we have put so much effort into this first day. We have tried so many different baits and techniques, and it was the Gunki drag spinning fire tiger that's done it. Again, that lure has worked so well over the last year or so for me. Rambo's also had some really nice pike on it, so yeah, buzzing with this fish. It's only 73. It might mean nothing, you know, the other two may have absolutely smashed it at this point, but I haven't blanked, and that's the main thing. First fish of a new venue, the fish is freezing, I'm freezing, I can't feel my feet, but it's worth it when you catch one like that. And like I say, it's not a big fish, but might as well be £20 buzzing. So we're going to rest him for a couple of minutes in the edge and we'll slip him back. We'll let him go now. Job's a good one. Oh, that was a mistake. But right, so 1 pike down. If we can nail a second pike today, that will be brilliant, because then tomorrow we can go out and out perch fishing. But I've got to be honest, even though we've got one there, I don't know how much longer I can stay in this spot for, because I am frozen.
And there we go, the second fish of the final, going to Ash Costa. Another fat jack at just 73 centimetres, but that gives him a 4-point lead over Thom Hunt. It's very interesting to see what lure Ash chose as well. It's quite an unusual bait that not a lot of people would choose, but that just really shows what sort of angler Ash is, really thinking about what he's using, not just using the same stuff that everyone else uses, and clearly it's worked there and pulled him a fish out on a very difficult day. So they don't have too many hours left for the day one now, so let's see who can pull out another fish.
Fish. Oh, he's off. Oh, right, now we're going to stick a bit longer in here. Same bait again. That would have been cherry on the cake, that. Mate, that is so annoying. Cannot believe that. Fish on. It's small fish, this one. Oh, fuck me. Got myself in a right 2 and 8 here. My hands are that cold I can't pull the thing down on the net. Oh mate, that's a disaster. There you go. Oh no. I deserve a slap for this performance, mate. What the hell? Again, really fat fish. 70, he is just under 71, but we can't quite give ourselves 71. He's like 70 3/4, so 70 centimetre pike. I think this fish thinks he's still in the water, look, his tail, bless him. But yeah, that's 70 centimetre pike now, so we've got 143 centimetres on the board, but more importantly, we can forget about pike tomorrow and we can go just perch fishing. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that, because now it's not having to run about doing too many different things. We've just got to nail the perch, and that's the thing that I actually think is going to be the most difficult. But we've got plenty of time tomorrow to do that. We've got a bit of time left now, but I'm actually, for once, enjoying my pike fishing, and now there's just no point really fishing for them. But we can obviously upgrade them. There's some big fish in these lakes, but you know, this is where sort of the competition side has to take priority. So yeah, we're going to go perch fishing now. We'll pop him back and we'll see if we can get some perch.
Oh, that sneaky toad, he's had one down in that corner. Right, stay here then and cast across it.
Oh, he's well and true. And he's off. So, might have been drying out a little bit there, which is freezing again. Right, so that one come on a shad. I really want to pick this area apart now, because we are getting a few hits, but it is a bit pointless. They do seem to be of a similar size. I think the ones that have been on briefly as well felt very similar. So we're either upgrading pike or we now need to go perch fishing. Now, as it's going to get dark very soon, I think that probably suits us a bit better anyway. We can put some big creature baits on and just drag them along the bottom.
Oh, it's just behind it. There's a fish right behind the jerkbait. Literally. Just behind it. Only follow the day. He's just slinked away. We might be able to drop on him again. Laziest follow ever, that. So lazy. Only follow we've had. Pike of about maybe 6 or 7 pound. right in. Pretty much came to my feet. No interest from him a second time. Rats. So the clock is ticking away. On a blank day, we're allowed to fish till 6. Honestly, I don't think I want to punish myself. We've got crispy bacon and barbecue flavoured crisps back at the car. So me and the cameraman, we're going to get the heating on full whack. We're going to warm up, and the other two can suffer out in the cold for moody pike. And then we'll think up a little game plan for tomorrow, I guess, which probably involves a lot more follows with no takes, but I don't know, maybe one a week. Just need a stupid one. Oh man, it sucks. I suck. It's cold. It's now feels like it's getting close to freezing. We can fish on another hour, but I think we're going to go back to the car and have bacon crisps and barbecue crisps and hopefully beer. There we go. We are back at the car with Texan barbecue crisps and bacon strips. Perfect meal after freezing yourself up to your bits in 2-degree water. That was a hard day. Fingers crossed it's a little bit warmer tonight and we catch some bit tomorrow. I'm keen to see how the other guys got on.
Well, it looks like Robbie's thrown in the towel for day one, but who'll blame him? Very difficult fishing and freezing conditions. I'd much rather be sat in a car eating crisps as well. But we'll go catch up with Thom Hunt now and see what he's got planned for his last few minutes of fishing.
Right, we're getting towards the end of day 1, and the only information I've got to go off is we had one bite on one pike in a corner of Oxley's Lake, and we've just walked down to the end, and we were second to last peg, and just as we went round the corner we saw Ash in the last peg in the corner, and I saw him catch a pike. So my only thinking is there's a few small resident pike in the corners, reed-lined bays, that are prepared to feed. So that's our plan. We're going to fish here, there, and there's another one down there. So let's see how we get on. And I think you've got to fish really slow. I'm going to fish a suspending Westin swim now and just fish it really slow, just walking it left and right. So fish. Oh yes, come on baby. Little pike on the swim again. Only on the back hook. Go on. Yes. 2 pike. So we got 63. 63. Yeah. There we go. Oh right, we're just into dark, or it's getting very dusky, and there's one thing that I thought. Go and fish the corners. I caught one out of a corner earlier and I saw Ash catch one out of the other corner. So I said, cameraman, we've got to go and find some corners. Come up, first corner we find, get ourselves another pike. And guess what? On the Westin swim, and guess what? It was hooked right on the end. Again, it just goes to show how negative they are today. They really don't want to feed, but a little suspending bait held in their face has done us proud. So we've got 2 pike now. That's awesome, which means we can spend all day tomorrow on the perch. But still got about an hour or so left. It is getting really dark now, but right, let's pop her back. There we go. Oh, look at her in the clear water. Wicked. Ah, come on, all day tomorrow on perch. Probably going to blank, but wicked. We've got our 2 pike. They're only little, but I'm happy with that. Awesome.
I think Tom's just had a pike. Yeah, that's the spot that the bailiff said, wasn't it? I think we were all going to be chasing perch tomorrow. But there is loads and loads of perch in this lake. But it is proving difficult so far today. But at least we can drop the pike tactics. And we can concentrate. Well, that is a bit of a giveaway to what the perch might be feeding on. So, maybe big crayfish. There's a bloody big cray and all that. So it could be maybe something like a chebrig with a big hurricane on. That could be a way to go. If they are feeding on big crayfish like that, you would imagine there's going to be some absolute donkeys in here. So that's it, 6 o'clock. Bumped into Tom about half hour or so ago, so we decided just to go drop the rods and have a little bit of lamping, see what we could find. It's quite interesting, wasn't it?
It was interesting. We saw a few crayfish on the bottom, which, like Ash said earlier, was really interesting that they're actually quite active despite it being so cold. We saw a pike underneath the ice, right in shallow water, and some little bait and tiny
a couple
perch.
Of little tiny perch as well. So yeah, I think we'll take what we've learnt today. I think it's been a learning curve for me, and I think what we've seen under the head torch as well, especially with the crayfish. So maybe adapt our approach tomorrow to sort of suit what they're feeding on potentially. So. Yeah, looking forward to the second day.
Right, and I know you've caught because I saw you catch one,
yeah,
and I know I caught because you saw me catch one, but we don't know the score. So off to the pub, we're going to meet Dave, find out the scores from day 1, and then, looking forward to day 2.
Nice one, mate. Yeah, pleasure.
So that's the end of the fishing for day 1. A very tough day with just 4 pike caught. Hopefully tomorrow will be better fishing for them, but I feel like now they've fished the venue, they've got a little bit of a better idea of what to expect. And especially Tom and Ash, they've just got to focus on perch now, so it should be a little bit easier for them to fill the card than Robbie. We'll go meet up with the anglers and Dave in the pub now and see what they all think of the final scores of day 1.
What do you want, Ash?
I'll have an old moat, please.
An old moat?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about 6:30. We've had a long, grueling day today. Well, I have, and I've been sitting in the wall most of the day. These 3 have been out fishing it really hard and been doing some wondrous things. What we're going to do tomorrow, they go totally dark, so they're going to discuss of what they've done on their scorecard today. We can talk about what they've caught and everything else as well, so they're going to share where they've been. We've had 7 lakes to conquer today, and I don't think we've conquered any of them, but we've had a good go. So over to you, Robbie, in no particular order, but you can go first. How was your day?
Eventful. Eventful.
How was your scorecard?
Uneventful.
Uneventful.
I struggled. I covered a lot of water, and I did it in a very slow and tedious manner.
Yeah.
And I had 1 follow of a very slow and tedious pike.
Not your style of fishing, really, is it, though, that?
No, he stared at me, and then just to rub salt in the wound, a perch swam behind me and sat under the peg, but he was too small. And then Bradley caught one with a net.
So to be clear then, nothing jumped on the hook today and you didn't actually catch anything.
No,
so
no.
Your scorecard currently is at 0.
We might have dipped out at 5 for some bacon crisps and barbecue sauce crisps.
But you've got the plan ready for tomorrow?
Yeah. Warmer weather, fingers crossed. It'll be a better day.
Good. Tom, how did you fare?
Had a reasonable start.
You did?
Second peg I was in.
Yeah.
had a bite, tiniest little bite. Hooked a pike, got him in, thought, hang on, happy days, this is good. Then never had another bite for probably 5 hours.
Yeah.
But I had another one at the end, another small pike. So I've had a 69 and a 63, and to be honest, quite happy with that. It was very, very difficult. But yeah, a couple of small fish on the card, and all to play for tomorrow, I think.
Cool. So you're on 132 centimetres currently. So with your 2 pike, no perch action at all?
No. I primarily fished for pike today, trying to cover a lot of water, and was kind of hoping maybe a big perch would come up on a pike lure. But I said at the beginning of the day, if I could get 2 pike, I'd be happy. I've got 2. They're not very big, but I'm happy. So we can go into day 2 and just concentrate on the perch.
All right, well done. Good effort on today. It was quite funny every time I went past you. It was, well, a couple of times I was with you every time you called. So yeah, good effort. And I thought you were off to an absolute flyer.
Oh, I thought it was
think
going to be
we were even
amazing.
like 20
Probably,
minutes in.
yeah,
know,
15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
I was dead opposite. Yeah, I saw you playing that one. I was like, here we go, we're on the right lake. It's all going to kick off, and then that was
Then
it.
never had another bite or saw a fish for another 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, over to you, Ash. How did you fare today? What did you think?
First lake we hit, slow, nothing happened. It looked really good. It had like a nice little bay, no ice on it. Covered that with shads and Ned rigs, nothing. We moved over to Brasenose 1, I think it was. We had a bite fairly quickly on a shad on the drop, real like short, sharp thud. I think that was a little jack, but that didn't hook up. And then we tried loads of different techniques: Nedding, Carolina, jerk baits, shads, nothing at all. And then we got in one spot. We had 1 pike of 73, so I was pleased with that. Thought, right, off to a good in there. Was going to move spot, and then we had another little contact. I thought it's worth just persevering a bit more, and then we had a 70 after that, just after persevering in that one little bit. But I think the perch are going to be hard. Yeah. I will apologise because tomorrow's going to be very, very boring to watch. It's going to be low and slow all day, just grinding it out for 3 15-centimetre perch. But so, that could be hard.
So what were your what's your numbers? So you had
I've got a 70 and a 73.
So you are on, just to confirm, you're on 142.
Right. 143.
Have I heard that one?
143.
You are correct. All right, yeah. So Tom, you're on 132. Yeah. 143. And Robbie, you're yet to score, but all to play.
That could be a winning score already.
Those pike, the perch are going to be really hard. We sort of called that right at the start that the perch were going to be tough. I think the issue is if they've gone in the middle of the lake and just sort of switched off. I think if you can put a bait in front of one, I think you've still got a chance, but it's trying to locate them.
It's a lot of water to fish, isn't there, when you're fishing blind?
That's it. I don't think there's any point in fishing like we was today, where it's like trying to fish shads, trying to find them that way. Personally, I think it's pick a lake and just pick it apart as much as you can with the time that we've got. Fish techniques that you can fish a little bit heavier and just whack it out as far as possible.
I can't believe you're giving all your hot spots, your techniques away there.
No, it's a fair shout. We're all in the same boat. We all know.
There's nothing that I know that these two don't know. So it's going to be tough.
So we started on literally -1. We finished on +5. Tomorrow is going to be +7. It says on the weather forecast. So it's an early start. We are starting fishing from 7:30 in the morning. We should finish around about 2 o'clock. So you've got a full day to pick it apart. All the lakes are open, so everything is pretty much defrosted by tomorrow. We'll find out if tar is fishable tomorrow. So that may be a bit of a wild card if you want to go up there. But I will find out for that tomorrow. But good luck for tomorrow. It's been really hard. You fished your heads off on it, so well done for what you've done, and good luck for tomorrow. Let's have a drink, shall we, Robbie?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're in the pub, and that's your fault. no, but well done.
No, well done, chaps.
Well done, guys.
Welcome to day 2 of the Lure Battle final. So we're starting off today in the spot that we had them pike yesterday. We had 5 contacts in this spot and 2 landed fish. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here, minimum of an hour, and we're going to pick it apart. We're going to put the drag spin back through. I have had 40 centimetre perch on this in the past, so we'll start on that, and if we can upgrade the pike while we do it, then brilliant. Then we're going to fish it with shads. Then we're going to fish it on a cheb rig with a big creature bait. And then I'm going to try to wade out a little bit, and we're going to go ultra light with a really small bait, and just really pick this whole bay apart for the hopefully for a perch. There's obviously a concentration of pike here. Normally where I do a lot of fishing on my local waters, if you're trying to search for the fish, I'll often try to find some pike first, because the pike are there and you're catching multiple pike. They're there because there's probably a food source, and if there's a food source there, then the perch are probably there as well. So that's the plan anyway. But I think these perch are going to be tough. We've got all that ice melt that's gone through all that water column, so if anything today could be more difficult than yesterday, but you know, the target is we need 3 perch. If I catch 1, I'll be happy. But we're going to start off on this, probably more of a pike than a perch lure. You never know. So let's get cracking.
Well, it looks like Ash has got a solid action plan for day 2. Grind, 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 and catch some fish. It sounds like he's just going to be slogging it out and fishing very slow and meticulously, which is a very good action plan if you don't know the waters very well. And I'm sure he'll drop on some fish throughout the day. It looks like Robbie's already started fishing, and he's already having a better start than yesterday. So let's get over to Robbie and see what's happening.
There we go. There's a fish. Not quite what I was after. It's not really fighting. But it's a fish. In the net. We're off the blank. I've just started. I've had a couple of casts while poor Bradley's been setting up the cameras, and instantly had a fish on that slow twitch jerk bait. So it's making me feel a little bit confident that I perhaps wasn't going too far wrong yesterday. Really cool take, almost off the surface. But I don't think I can claim any extra points for him. It's not a big one, but it gets us off the mark. He's 51. We'll round him down, he's 51. So yeah, giant, smallest pike of the competition so far, I would assume, but it gets us moving. Couple more of these, maybe an upgrade, and then we can start looking for some perch. Fishing can change a lot in just a few hours. They're slipping back. There we go. Lazy. Right, well, we are back out on day 2, and I instantly had a fish, like I say, while the camera was being set up. Very small fish, but it gets me off the mark and in a much more positive mindset today. A lot can change in, a day's fishing. It could be slow, but I could have an hour where I put the fish I need to fill the card and even potentially win the competition. But Ash and Thom have done a monumental effort from what I know so far, so it's worrying. They could be, they've got a whole day to focus on perch, whereas I really need to catch up and catch a couple of pike. Everything has been a bit of a grind, but one technique that's had a few had the follow and a take is a real slow twitch jerk bait. So this is a super slow suspending jerk bait. And I'm just going to give it a wide tap, let it swing, and just hover it there. It's a technique I find works well for winter pike on slow rivers and on the Broads, but I've not really tried it on still water like this before. Fingers crossed it works. I think these fish are super lethargic, but I think if something's hung in their face long enough, they will strike out. So I'm going to persevere with this tactic as my main way of grinding an area, particularly shallower areas. It's quite possible that with the ice melt, the temperature beneath where the ice was could be a little bit cooler and the fish may have suspended slightly given the warm air temperatures. So I think fishing sort of mid-level and slow is the way I would go about trying to tempt bites today. I can put a little burst of speed in when I want it to ride higher, and then of course let it drop. It's got a super slow suspension rate, so I can hang it here for 10 or 15 seconds if I like. Tap, 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 tap. And Although I'll do this with the bigger ones on a bait casting setup, I do like a little spinning setup for these small ones. We're going to do the road bank on Manor next, and then we're going to walk up past the car and just try and cover that fish that we had a follow from yesterday. And then I think that'll be us for these lakes. We'll move and try and find some fresh water and some fresh fish. It is still really cold on here. There's still a little of ice over part of the lake, whereas some of the others have had about a day of thawing. But it does suit itself in depth to working the slow suspending jerk baits and stuff, so I'm confident if we cover some fish, there's a high chance of getting a take or two. It's yet to reach the warmest part of the day yet, so hopefully as the temperature lifts, so do the fish, and that kind of tactic may pay off. We don't know, we'll give it our best.
Well, good morning guys, and welcome to day 2 of the Lure Battle final. Really interesting. Got to the pub last night. I'd seen Ash catch one pike, so I knew he'd caught, but I knew it'd been a tough day. Robbie came in with a blank. Ash has had 2 pike, I've had 2 pike. His are a little bit bigger than mine, so I've worked out I think he's going to perch fish all day. If he doesn't catch any, and I catch one tiny min-sized perch, we've got a win in the bag. If I don't catch any perch and he doesn't catch any perch, I've got to upgrade my pike, and I need a minimum 75 centimetres. So I worked a pattern out yesterday. I think all of the pikes, only the small ones that are going to feed, the air pressure's super high, it's like 1,035, 1,036 at the moment. All this ice melt, we're looking for that just bigger size jack. Ash has had a 70 and a 73 yesterday. I need a 75 or bigger to compete if no perch count, or if no perch are caught. So we are going to fish for perch 80%, but every time we get to a corner, we've got one here right now, we're going to try and fish for a quick pike, but we're not going to waste any other time on the pike. So first cast, day 2. Wish me luck. Let's see if we can pull it off.
Well, Robbie's had the first pike there of day 2, and it's his first pike of the final as well. So Robbie is off the mark. Only a 51 centimetre pike, but plenty of time for upgrading. And it sounds like his plan is to just fish with the slow jerks most of the day. Thom Hunt sounds like he's got a bit more of a competitor's plan. He's worked out what he exactly needs to win and the pattern that he needs to fish to get that win. So it's really great to get the insight into how these anglers are thinking, whether they're thinking about just catching fish or what points and stuff they need. It's really good to see how different anglers' minds work. So we'll stick with Thom Hunt now and see how he starts his fishing off and see if he gets into a quick fish again today.
Oh, pike. Just come out from under me. Oh, just had a pike come up and touch the lure right under my feet. I'm just going to stay here for a minute. I pulled the bait straight out of his mouth. He turned, I didn't really have it, but I think he's catchable, hopefully. Leave this alone. I don't think he's going to go very far, but normally they'll come back in the first 1 or 2 casts, so we'll carry on moving down, then we can come back to this spot. See that? It's just gone. Oh, that was painful. I know the pattern. I've had 2 chances at pike now, and I've just struck right under my feet, and the braid's just gone straight away. Must have been damaged or something. I do know that was a 70 plus as well. Oh no. I do know the pattern now though. It's basically anywhere you've got an overhanging bush or a corner or something like that. Just keep moving. They're definitely ambush predators on here though.
This spot ain't really panned out. I thought we'd nick an early pike, but it ain't materialised. So what we're going to do is a inflow pipe over there. We're going to hit that bank maybe 30 minutes. I'm not going to give it too long. We're going to use the creature baits again. We used the hurricraw. That is I literally caught a crayfish from there yesterday, so there are crays there. So we'll try to match the hatch. That is dodgy. It's a beautiful day today. It is a really nice day to be out on the water. But, we have got really high pressure, and obviously all that snow ice melt is going to have a negative impact on the fishing. But it is a nice day to be on the bank. When you see the lake like this with no ice on it, what a stunning place it is. Definitely beats some of the fen drains, that's for sure. That was awesome. Nailed that right on the edge. Fish. So yeah, he was not an upgrade, he was 65. We didn't think he was an upgrade, but I thought, bites are going to be few and far between today, so we'll just double check. But we've had some action, we've not blanked, and we're going to slip him back now. He's off that water, he's Baltic. Jesus.
Well, it looks like the fish are a little bit more active today, with all three anglers having some action already, but still very difficult and no perch caught. Hopefully, as the day warms up, things will get better for the anglers. But let's get back to Robbie now, as he's got the most work to do to get a full card.
Well, this is going to make our plan kind of go totally pear-shaped. The lake that we were planning on spending a bit of time on is still totally frozen. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to gamble on moving to another part of the complex again.
I knew that was risky. That's not coming back. Fished hard on this lake for a good few hours now. 2 pike opportunities, missed them both. No perch. The perch are going to be absolutely nails. Just don't know where. It just feels like you're casting into like the abyss. There's nothing, you've got to stumble across them on 7 lakes that are between, 7 acres and 35 acres. Like, that's a lot of water if you don't know it. So, it's just got to get lucky.
Whee! Do you know what? It's actually probably worth seeing whether the actual... I don't think it is. Just make sure that this ain't frozen. Yeah, it is. Well, that's that plan. It's gone. Hey, what though? Look, we might get one come through the ice for it.
We've had a car casualty, and it's a rod I'm using to fish my favourite little jerkbait. Damn it! I can only. Well, I'm gutted that my favourite jerkbait rod died in the car and that I had to Iconelli it. So I'm on the lighter version now with a smaller jerkbait. Oh! Good fish. Go again. There we go. Unlucky. It's the problem with the big hard lures. They do shake out sometimes. The softer rod's good at cushioning it, but this is a heavy rod. Kind of the other extreme. But that's a hit on the jerkbait. If we can put another one of them, then we're in with a chance. It is not going my way. Good hit as well, decent fish. 75 probably. Looked to be sort of 7-8 pound.
Unlucky there for Robbie, losing a good fish and snapping his favourite rod. After a good start to the day, it slowly started going bad for Robbie. But he's not too far behind the other anglers. Both of them are struggling, no perch caught yet, so all he needs now is one big pike or two medium-sized pike, and he'll have every chance of winning this, just like the other two anglers have.
That's iced as well, look. Yeah, I think we'll leave this lake now. Maybe hit St John's. I know. I think Tom's on Smiths and Hardwick, and I think Robbie's on B1. And it is quite nice to have the option of having a whole lake to yourself. So I don't really want to jump on the lakes that they're on. So I think maybe have a look at St John's.
Right, so we're back to Brasenose 1. Again, I'm just going off information of, I think there's perch in this lake. We just need a 75. Ash may well have had an upgrade. Who knows? Robbie could have had a couple of. I've missed 2 pike today. One of them was okay. Robbie could be equaling the scores now. We don't know.
Fish. There we go. Hopefully this one stays put. Man, it's not really a consolation for the one I lost earlier. But it is a fish. And it's in the net. Oh, finally. Oh my, that was hard work. We've still got about 2.5 hours to go, but it's an upgrade. Well, it's a full pike card. I've just got to try and upgrade them now. I'll be surprised if anyone's caught a perch today. Let's take a closer look at this one. Oh, I've never been so glad to see like a 5-pound pike before. Absolutely smoked that jerkbait. But yeah, a much smaller fish than the one I lost earlier. I'm kicking myself for that. That bigger one could well have been a very crucial fish. If this one's 72, then I dare say that bigger one was probably in the 80s. There we go.
Robbie's caught a fish. Well, at least I know he's off the mark. That might be, you never know, might be the second one he's had. See, this is the thing, if we all end up on 2 pike, Robbie could quite easily catch 2 that are ever so slightly bigger than the ones me and Ash have had. I know if no more fish get caught, I ain't going to win, so I've got to catch either a perch or another bigger pike.
Just text a score through, and that's 2 fish in this area now that I've hooked. One small one, and I obviously lost the big one. But we're going to fish it a little bit longer because that was really only sort of my 2nd or 3rd lengthways cast there. And maybe we can pull another fish from this area. It'd be amazing if we can. If not, then we'll go back on the hunt. But it's all been very hard fought for today.
And that's Robbie with his 2nd pike caught and a full pike card. There's just 20 points between all the anglers now, so it very much is a race between who gets the next fish, really. There's only around 2 hours of fishing left. The perch fishing has been non-existent for the last 2 days, so it really is looking like it's going to be down to who gets a bigger pike now. So it's anyone's game, anyone could win this, so it's a very close final.
Oh, that's good. We've got another pike at least. It looks like Tom's moved in on the corner. So, yeah, our plan to continue working around the bays out of the question. So I think we're just going to go and try and find another lake and some fish that haven't been fished on yet today. We might try, we'll see how the ice is doing on Brasenose 2. If Brasenose 2's fishable. I don't think anyone's been on there yet, so that could be interesting. Can get another pike in the 70s or 80s, and I feel I could dedicate maybe the last hour or so to perch. But yeah, that's a big if. We'll do our best though.
Oh, pike. He's coming up from underneath there. Jesus. Fucking hell, he's a fat one again. Come on, get in that. He's on one hook. Stay on. Yes. That's a heavy one. They're not very long, but that's a heavy one. Same again. Find a corner, find a tree, put a Westin swim underneath it. Holy cow. We've got 81. Look at that. Crazy cool fat fish. Look how tiny the heads are and how much gut they've got on them. Cool, same thing again. Kept going round, found one underneath a tree, put the Westin swim past, pause it, and he absolutely clobbered it. So, oh yes, right, well, at least we now know I needed one of 75 or bigger. So if Ash doesn't catch anymore, we could be in the lead. I'm probably not, but I could be at least. So I've given myself half a chance, but 81, sweet.
And there we go, the best pike of the final so far at 81 centimetres, and a great upgrade for Thom Hunt. That puts him into the lead by 1 point. He's on 144 points now. So very close, but he has taken the lead off Ash Costa. Interestingly as well, if Tom hadn't have been on that lake, and if Robbie had have carried round fishing and caught that pike, he'd have been on 153 points and taken the lead. So it could very well have been Robbie's fish that, but it has gone to Thom Hunt. Tom's taken the lead now, so the other two just need to get one pike really to take the lead back off Tom. A very close finals indeed.
Text this in to Dave. Don't really know why, because he's actually sat in his van there. I think that's 3 fish I've had, and he's been within 100 metres of me every time, which is he's my good luck omen. Right, 81 centimetre pike. I'm actually now tempted to gamble that no perch are going to get caught. We're going to go pike fishing. Let's try and catch another bigger one. I got one right. Oh, there was 2. There was 2 pike. That was so weird. That was a solid fish again, and another one right behind it. Watch this though. See if we can. There he is. He's on it. Oh, see him right underneath it. Oh, that's on. That one ain't coming off. He absolutely gobbed it. Come on, baby. That's another fatty. There was another one behind it as well. There's freaking loads of them here. Glad we went pike fishing. Yeah, there was one under there. There was 2 under there. That might even be longer. It's absolutely choked it as well. 87 or 8. Oh, it's just on 88, I reckon that. That is perseverance for you. Work a pattern out, keep running as many as you can. Corners and overhanging trees. 1 cast to the left of that swim, 81. 1 cast to the right, 88. Absolutely mega. They're so heavy as well. Like, really, really cool fish that. I'm just going to go pike fishing now. I'm going to can the perch off. We've had 2 pike upgrades, could get an even bigger one, and I just feel like the perch aren't going to happen, but I'll take the drop shot rod with me, maybe the occasional cast, but Wow, the pike fishing's like this, it's awesome. I'm going to start fishing a little bit quicker because the bite I had earlier today was a quick one as well. Go on, me darling. Right guys, obviously I've had 2 pike upgrades from the same swim, one down there and one down there. So the one thing that I was worried about was obviously Ash was beating me, so I knew I either had to put perch or bigger pike on to give myself a chance of winning. Now I still don't know because I don't know what the others have caught. You actually probably do know what they've caught at the moment, and no doubt they'll put it on the screen right now. But what should I do? Should I carry on fishing for pike? The pike are obviously on and it could come down to centimetres, but I do have 2 solid ones on now. Every 20 centimetre perch is going to be worth 40 points though, so it's just such brutal fishing. I mean, I'd love to catch a big perch, but yeah, what should I do? Comments below. What would you do? If you were in my situation, you've seen what we've done. We've scratched out a few pike. I've figured the pike out. I've had 4 chances today. I've had 2 nice fish. But what would you do? I'm now thinking I've got to scratch a perch out. So maybe let's have a few casts on the drop shot.
Well, I know I'm way behind, but I have caught a couple of pike at least, so I'm going to take a gamble. We've moved on to Brasenose 2, which I don't think any of the guys have fished yet. And we've driven down it, and it's iced on either end, but this middle area is beautiful and defrosted, and it genuinely feels like a spring day here. And I would not be surprised at all if a few fish have moved up sort of either shallow or up in the water column to take advantage of that, especially with the ice melt dropping down. So we'll give it a go. If it's a fail, oh well, it's a beautiful place to stand and be. I'm going to grab my sunglasses because I'm not going to see anything following. There we go, fish. Feels good. Oh, it's a good fish. This makes up for the one we lost earlier, Bradley. Oh, it's wrapped around the leader. It's not what you want when you're playing a big fish. In the nets. Yes! That's the one we've been searching for on the slow twitch techniques. Oh, right. That's a nice fish. Stunning. Right, let's get that measure out. 87. Here we go. Well, Mr. Thom Hunt's done me a favour by moving in on that swim and persuading me to get out of there and change location. I've found my best pike of this session so far at 87 centimetres. It's a beautiful fish. It honestly looked a lot longer in the fight, but I think it's because I haven't seen a big one in so long. Oh, there she goes. Fantastic. Now that is a bit of relief. Well, that fish is a real relief. It's a gamble fishing with such slow lures like jerkbaits because it takes forever to work a piece of water, particularly when you're turning 4 inches at a time, pausing. But it can bring out the bigger fish. I was getting sort of doubtful of myself for a while there, but I suppose if I was on my local venues today, I'd be looking for hot areas and sort of fishing them with the same tactics. Thankfully it's paid off. I did say if I got another decent pike that I would stop pike fishing and target the perch, but I'm so early into fishing this bay, I may carry on, just fan across it, and then I think I will switch over to perch tactics. We might pick up another pike in the process, but we really, once I've re-rigged, we'll only have an hour's fishing left. and a perch on the card at this point could be the difference between winning and losing, depending on whether Ash or Tom have targeted the perch and whether they've had some. Who knows, one of those guys could have caught a decent pike, they could have a couple of small perch on the card. It could be a mountain or a molehill that separates us, but I'm just happy to nab a big fish because it's not been through lack of perseverance. I've really worked at it the last 2 days, and the first day I just felt like I made all of the wrong calls. But today I've come in with a strategy to fish those contours and those bathymetrics in the morning, and it only did a small fish, but it did a fish. And then switching over to Brasenose 1 as the day heated worked, fishing over the shallows and the greenweed, and stumbling upon this little bay has been a gem. I don't think I'll move far to look for perch because honestly it's got all of the right makings. The other side's ice for a start. We've got a fairly warm wind blowing down into this bay. We've got weed, we've got tree cover, and we've got deep water. So, you know, there's food, warmth and shelter all in one area and a variation of different depths. So if I was a big perch or a big pike, particularly at this sort of time in the afternoon, 1 o'clock prime time for me, lunchtime bite times I like to say in the winter, this is where I feel most confident on the whole complex fishing so far, I would say. Now I'm not going to get another bite, but fingers crossed I can pull something else out of the bag. There's a fish. So, there was another pike in the swim after all. Oh, I did have a good feeling about this bay. Hard to judge the size of this one. That's a small one. There's a fish. Could be an upgrade, so we'll check it. And in the net. Boom. 62, so yeah, little guy. You know what, I'm looking forward to sharing a beer with the lads later. We can't tell each other how we got on, but it'd be nice to share a few stories at least. So, I mean, assuming the guys haven't, you know, upgraded their pike, a perch could be the difference between winning and losing. You may be sitting there watching this at home or at the big one thinking, you idiot, you should be going for a bigger pike. But this is a call I'm going to make. We're going to fish Carolina rigs just off this bay, all the way down on the bottom. I'm just going to slow wind.
We've decided to come down to this lake now. I think it's St John's. If you are a carp angler and I've got it wrong, I do apologise. But yeah, so what the plan is, we're going to literally have 5 casts in each swim on shads because it's the best go between, I think, when you've got cold water for searching, but also fishing slow-ish. So we're going to just fan cast a spot and then move, fan cast a spot, and we're just going to go around the lake until we're out of time, basically. That's a perch. No, it's not, it's a pike. Bollocks! Oh, no! Bugger! Oh, I was convinced that was a perch. Oh, you know what was going there? I had this tiny little pike, this one. I was convinced it was a perch when that hit. I was a little bit gutted when I see him, but it could have been the winning fish there. But anyway, we'll slip him back and we'll carry on. He's off. It's on the Fire Tiger Bumpy, that one. That Fire Tiger seems to be the colour. For the pike anyway. But we're going to keep persevering. Got a couple of hours left, so we've got more than enough time to catch 3, never mind 1. Oh, pike following, that could be an upgrade. Look, oh no, he's not, but still, let's try and catch him. Damn it, you see him veer off. So I really don't know what to do at the minute. The perch ain't playing ball, but we're catching pike, and we've had a follow from another one that might have been an upgrade, but if it was, you're talking a centimetre or two. It wasn't a big fish, but the pike seemed to be on it more. And this is where you're like, do we go back to the car, grab the pike rods and let's just have fun for a couple of hours, or do we just carry on with what we're doing? We're getting follows from pike anyway and just hope for that perch. But that was a hit. That was a bite, proper one. A bit gutted that we didn't come on here a bit sooner. I think, given time to work it out where the fish are sitting, I think we could have done quite well here. I had a little knock over there, but that one there, that was a proper hit. Yeah, pike just followed that in there. I reckon that's what hit it. Not very big, about 40, but it's a fish in it if he does hit it.
Right guys, time's up, 1 minute left. This is going to be my last cast. Yeah, so from me, I had an absolutely epic time. Personally, I just wanted to fish on the same waters through each round, and I managed to do that, so that was awesome. Awesome fishing with George, awesome fishing with Andy, and then obviously this as a surprise venue has been great. I do know that I'm in with a chance. If I didn't catch an upgrade pike today or a perch, obviously Ash had a better score from yesterday, but I have had 2 upgrades, so I'm in for a chance, but I don't know. I saw Robbie catch 2 pike. Are his bigger than mine? I don't know. Has Ash caught? Has he upgraded? Has he caught perch? I don't know. So it's really exciting to know that I'm in with a chance though. So yeah, thank you to Linear Fisheries. Thanks to all you guys for watching. Lure Battle's been great. I'm Thom Hunt, over and out.
That'll do. Oh, hard day, or hard 2 days. It's, yeah. Am I confident? No. I think the other guys would have pulled out at least a few upgrade pike or decent perch. Yeah. My time management's awful. I'm not much of a tournament angler, definitely more of a guy when it comes to just going out having a bit of fun. So the fact that I've come this far, I'm really happy about. But it was nice to pull out a bigger fish today, particularly on the water where I've not seen anyone fish yet. Yeah, definitely wasted that first day. Well, I think I was in the right place to start with. Tom had a fish opposite me, but then he didn't get a bite for a while. I think 5 hours, so we made the right call moving from there. But I think the lakes I chose to move on to, still being partially frozen, probably weren't the right call. That said, I've still managed to fill my pike card at least, so I'm happy about that. Would have liked another sort of bigger one in the doubles, but it's been hard effort and it's been very rewarding. And just hooking that fish after so much like time and effort and energy was super exciting. So fingers crossed, maybe I have done good enough to at least place high. Maybe the other guys haven't added perch or upgraded their cards, but we'll find out soon.
So that's it, that was the last cast. I literally just bumped over some weed there and I thought, oh, £4 last cast wouldn't be bad, would it? But no, it's been tough today, but I thought today was going to be tough. I've got no clue how Tom or Robbie's got on. I genuinely hope that they've caught plenty of fish, because it's been tough. And yeah, the old premise, I know it's a competition, but watching anglers of the calibre of Tom and Robbie picking a lake apart like this, which is new to them as well, you know, I learned a lot just talking to them. So yeah, it's didn't crack the perch, but quite often when you have something like this, you'll be thinking of ideas of how to do it afterwards. Off the back of the episode with Adam Seeley with all the duckweed, sort of come across a new way of fishing in situations like that where we had fish to £4. So yeah, if we get lucky enough to do this again and we end up back here, different approach, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and Ollie, we've had a crack, we've had a right laugh, and yeah, I hope Tom and Robbie have caught plenty of fish and you really enjoy the show. Cheers.
Right, that's a wrap. We have finished 2 days of solid hard fishing from these three. It's been amazing and very, very close. The viewers know it's 26 centimetres from first to last, all right? So very, very close. You guys are not going to find out. You guys know who's won at the moment, but these guys will find out at the big one. As you know, we've got the Lure Live area and they've got VIP tickets for the big one. On the Saturday night after the show's finished at 4:30, everybody upstairs to watch the final being aired then. And this is where these then will find out who's going to win, all right? Very, very close. Personally, thank you to these three, thank you to those three, and thank you to Linear Fisheries. It's been absolutely amazing venue here. You know, a lot of the carp anglers who come here don't realise what's swimming around them, and these have caught a few of them, all right, so there's plenty in there. Thanks for watching, and see you at the big one.
What you want when you're playing a big fish? In the nets. Yes, that's the one we've been searching for on this latest decade.
Thank you. We'll have a big round of applause. Congratulations to Westin's very own Thom Hunt. Where are you, Tom? You too. Come on. Well done, Ash. Well done, Robbie. Well, hard fought.
Yeah, well, it's really exciting actually to just find out in front of everyone now, watching it. You know, it honestly could have come down to any of us. These two are fantastic anglers. Bit of luck on my side. Nothing more than that to say. Cracking pair. Glad Andy wasn't in the final, and it was me. But there we go. God's plan.
Well done to all of them. Congratulations, Tom. Well done. All I can ask for you guys, you know what's happened. There are loads and loads of thousands of people that don't know what happened. This will get cut on to the end of tomorrow night's episode, so please refrain from posting it on social media. I would appreciate that, but thanks for watching. Thanks for turning out. We can do a couple of photographs, and then that's you guys. All right, so thanks very much. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the anglers that took part, but a massive congratulations to Thom Hunt for winning the first ever series of Lure Battle. A very close race in all the episodes and right to the end in the finals. It was a great series to watch and we're already looking forward to next year's Lure Battle. There is going to be a wildcard place in next year's Lure Battle, just like there was this year. So if you are wanting to compete, make sure you keep a lookout for updates on that and enter to be in Lure Battle. Thanks to all the sponsors, all the anglers, Linear Fisheries and Predator Tackle for putting on this amazing show. There's going to be a lot more in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for those. That's it for this season and we'll catch you in the next one.